All right, so Lattafa's Asad, this is going to be one of Lattafa's probably best-selling fragrances, one of them at least, when it comes to their particular fragrance lineup. And I definitely understand why. This is, I would say, a really nice sort of inspiration, you could say, of Dior Sauvage Elixir. It's not a clone of that fragrance, but it does, I would say, kind of go in its own direction in terms of, the spice level as well as the amount of vanilla that's in this fragrance as opposed to what you get with Sauvage Elixir. So with that, Fragrance World has also released their version pretty much of Asad. And this is going to be called Just Aswad from Fragrance World. So as you can see, they're kind of going for, a similar sort of box design here. And I'll show you the bottles in just a moment, but pretty much that's what the front of the two boxes look like. Up top, you've got the logos of each company. So Fragrance World over here, and then Lattafa logo over here. On the back, this is what you're getting from both boxes. And then pretty much this thing here kind of wraps around both sides of the Fragrance World box. And then at the bottom, you've got like the barcode, as well as like the manufacture date for both of them. All right. And then in terms of the bottles, they do look pretty similar as well. Not exactly the same, but as you can see, they're going for like that same sort of, black bottle with like the gold plastic thing that wraps around there. The tops are they're going to be a little bit different. All right. But overall, man, you can tell that these are basically supposed to be the same thing for the most part. All right. The sprayers on each one of these, I would say the Asad sprayer is pretty average. The Fragrance World, it is also a pretty average sprayer as well. But what I'll say with this one is it does seem to shoot out a little bit more juice than what the Asad sprayer does. Now, in terms of, how these two smell pretty much, for the most part, the reason why I actually picked this fragrance up, and I mean, I picked this one up about a month or so, or no, it was longer than that. I picked this one up at like the end of January, I want to say, like mid to late January. The reason why is because this one, when I picked this up on oudstore.com, it was being marketed as, basically like a stronger version of Lattafa's Asad. All right. That's basically what this one was being marketed as. So I went ahead and picked it up because, at least for me, typically when I wear Asad, and I think maybe it may be me going nose blind to it, I feel like I really only smell it for, maybe about 30 minutes or so. And then after that, it kind of goes away. But I do notice in a lot of cases, I will kind of get whiffs of it down the line, let's say maybe 6, 7, 8 hours later or so. So I think that's basically what's going on with it. But yeah, man, I wanted to, see if this one was going to be a stronger version of Asad, like it was being marketed as. Basically what I'm getting from the two fragrances is the Just Aswad, in my opinion, is not the stronger fragrance, but it is, I would say, the better blended fragrance. So it does smell of slightly higher quality than what Asad does from Lattafa. All right. Now, just to kind of go over the notes of Asad, the notes are going to be black pepper in the top notes, black pepper, tobacco, and pineapple. In the mid, you have patchouli, coffee, and iris. And then in the base, you have vanilla, amber, drywood, benzoin, and labdanum. All right. So definitely, a lot different, I would say, than, what you're getting from something like Sauvage Elixir. but it does come off as having, a similar type of smell. Now, again, the difference that I noticed between these two is this one, the Fragrance World Just Aswad, to me, it has more of a slightly sort of concentrated type of smell to it. And I would say that the blend quality on it is just, it's a little bit better than what the Lattafa is. So, I mean, it does smell to be a little bit more high quality than what, Lattafa's Asad does. But here's the thing I would say with the two fragrances. So, yeah, I would say Lattafa's Asad, to me, in the opening, the black pepper doesn't smell as high quality as what it does in the Just Aswad. But here's the thing. So when I purchased the Just Aswad, and I'll have links to, where you can buy both of these fragrances. But when I purchased this was, I want to say, like around $45 or so. And I'm pretty sure it's still like around that price, like $40 to $45. Lattafa's Asad, on most websites, you can get this for like $20, right? And so both of these are 100 ml bottles. Even though, yeah, this one does have, I would say, slightly better blend quality, it doesn't justify it being twice the price of Asad. Not in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, I mean, these two, they smell so similar that it's like, I could maybe see if the Just Aswad was being sold for like $25 over the $20 for Asad. But for this one to cost twice as much as Asad, I don't think that this is worth it at all. And I mean, I would also say really the timing of when this one was released wasn't necessarily the best. This one was released after, I would say, pretty much almost everyone within the fragrance community had already pretty much purchased or smelled Lattafa's Asad. At this point, I would say most people have smelled this particular scent profile, or they own Lattafa's Asad. So I don't necessarily feel like it makes sense to then go out and, replace your bottle of Asad with the Just Aswad. Even if you, say for instance, are getting ready to run out of this, again, you can still go out on most sites and get another bottle of this one for $20 pretty much. I don't think that the Just Aswad, justifies the $40 to $45 price at all. In terms of the longevity, I'm not getting better longevity or performance, from the Just Aswad. Again, this one does smell slightly higher quality, but in terms of longevity, I feel like I'm getting way better longevity with the Asad. Now, mind you, I've had this bottle of Asad for a while now. I don't know exactly when I purchased this one, but I want to say it's probably going on about a year now or so that I've had Asad. Whereas, like I said, this one, I got this bottle back in January. All right. So, I mean, possibly the Fragrance World version, as it starts to sort of maturate, it could become better, in terms of the performance. But as of right now, I would say longevity wise, as well as, projection as well, this does not beat Lattafa's Asad, at least for me right now. This, I would say, even within like that first sort of hour and a half, 2 hours or so, Asad definitely is giving you better projection. And then definitely after that, I would say the strength of Asad is going to be noticeably stronger than what you're getting with the the Fragrance World Just Aswad. So this one I can't necessarily recommend that you buy unless this fragrance is like the same price as what you can get Asad for. So, you know, I would say if this one comes down in price and it starts becoming available for, you know, $20 to $25, then I would say this is going to be the one that I would recommend over Asad, just for that extra sort of refinement and possible, I would say, you know, longevity that you may get, you know, as this fragrance starts to, you know, sort of maturate. Because that's definitely one thing that I noticed more so with Fragrance World fragrances are, you know, their fragrances, a lot of times they do kind of need to maturate and sit, as opposed to Lattafa fragrances. I feel like in most cases, Lattafa fragrances, they do kind of perform pretty well straight out of the box. So I would say, you know, that's definitely going to be a possibility with this one. But as it stands right now, I would not recommend paying $40 to $45 for this fragrance at all. Now, I do also have another bottle that I just recently, you know, got when making a purchase here with Banadier fragrance. So what I'll do is once we get to the 5,000 subscriber mark, I'll be giving away the bottle of that fragrance, which hasn't actually been sprayed. So I'll be giving away a bottle of that to all of my, you know, subscribers, or one of my subscribers anyway, as well as another bottle of Lattafa fragrance that's supposed to be a clone of Givenchy Gentleman's, what is it, Reserve Privé. So I'll be having a video coming out of that one pretty soon as well. But yeah, I'm going to be giving out both of those bottles on, you know, once we actually get to our 5,000 subscriber mark. All right. So definitely stay tuned to kind of know how you can enter into that. It'll definitely only be for US residents though. All right. So if I'm going to give this fragrance a rating on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say this one is going to be about a 7. And I only say that mainly because of the fact that it's basically the exact same juice as Asad, just slightly more refined, but it costs double the price. And, you know, at that point, I can't really recommend it. In terms of closeness of smell to Asad, on a scale from, you know, 1 to 100, I'm going to say that it's definitely going to be like a 95% for sure. You know, like I said, it just has a little bit higher quality blend, you know, than what the Lattafa does. All right. So let me know in the comments, have you all smelled Just Aswad? Have you smelled Asad? And if you smelled both of these, in your opinion, are you getting better performance out of the Fragrance World version than you're getting from Lattafa's Asad? And if not, do you see any real reason to go out and purchase Just Aswad over Asad? All right. So let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And to anyone watching, leave a like on the video. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Sense. I'll see y'all in the next video.